Welcome along to Last Lap. Action from the MG Trophy Championship today. 3 races for the price of one, the 160s, the 170s and of course the Class A 190s. Catching up with the gossip in the paddock is Barry Welch.
So we are Brands Hatch Carrot Racing Team. Now a carrot sandwich we're hearing in the paddock here. Jason, what's this about?
Yes, that's right. We've got myself out and I've managed to get a pole. My first ever pole in the MG Trophy with a good time. I'm really happy. And then my new teammate Phil, who's been working with me for 20 years, actually helping me on the cars, has decided to drive this year. So he's learning all the circuits, he's bringing up the rear. So we've got a carrot racing sandwich, which we're dishing up at 125 on the Brabham Straight. So I hope all the other competitors are hungry.
Excellent, well I hope that goes well. So if we turn to you now, Phil. So Phil, great to see you on the grid. Now you used to be the man on the spanners for this team. So what's brought you onto the grid?
I've decided to go onto the dark side. Again, I'll be 50 in less than a year, although if I don't do it soon, I'm never going to do it. So after nearly 20 years spannering, I've decided my time is nigh. But today, the qualifying was awful. I was 2 seconds off what I did yesterday in testing. Due to a wobbly wheel at the rear, the spanner man hadn't done a good job.
So I've got Andy and Ryan Firth, father and son. Andy, if I can come to you first. We've seen you on grids before in the past motor racing, and what's brought you back?
I've missed it ever since I packed up 11 years ago. I've missed it. I've missed the bus. Went off doing the motorbike thing, and that's still good. But it's always a pull to get you back into it. And a bit of spectating last year. Ryan said he wouldn't mind a go. I thought, well, that gets us back into it, and that'll quench the thirst for doing it, if you like. But it just made me more thirsty for it. As soon as I saw Ryan on the track, I thought, I've got to do it, got to have a go. And it's been a dream for years for us all to be on the grid together. So here we are.
So Ryan, if we can come to you, first full season you're going to be racing,
yeah.
And did pretty well at Donington, and you've come third in qualifying.
I have, yeah. Yeah, third in qualifying, first time here, so really happy with that. I don't know where it come from. Just try and stay there for the race, keep the fast lads off, keep him off, and then I'll be happy, yeah.
So continuing the theme of families, we now have 2 brothers racing on the grid together, which is very nice to see. Patrick, we recognised you from last year, your first year racing, and pretty good success.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with last year. Like you say, first ever year racing. I had a target of coming about a third of the way, down from the top, and that's where I made. So obviously this year I want to see if I can improve on that.
Now the 170 class is one of the most competitive ones as well, so you're in the deep end really.
Yeah, I noticed that. Actually, the 160 class hadn't really evolved very much when I looked at it, and I thought that to learn something new, I have to be racing. So I thought I just have to go and race in the 170s. But you know what? The harder it is, sometimes the more there is to learn, so the more fun it is.
Excellent. If we can come to you, John. As Patrick says, the 160 class has evolved. There's more and more on the grid every year. Your first season now of racing. So what's encouraged you to join this championship and join the grid?
Well, following my brother, obviously, because I was very, very much encouraging him to do very well, because it's been one of his main passions, and me, because we're brothers, obviously. We like cars all our lives and what have you, and I've tinkered for a while. But yeah, just and joining this team as well has been great. So we're just having a go at it, really. And if I don't do it now, hence the number on the car, which is very relevant because I'm nearly that. So although I'm a bit of a lardy bloke, it's just having a go, really. I'm not doing too badly, which I'm quite pleased about. To say I've only just started.
Ollie, great to see you on the grid. Second event for you this season. Now you've done this MG Trophy before. You went away for a year or so. So what's brought you back?
Just the competitiveness of the championship. Just the fact that in the 170 class it's 2 seconds between first and last. It's just no other championship for the budget that is as competitive. It's just insane some of the times that people do around here. And yeah, that's why I came back, really. Try and beat the quick people.
Great to see you back. Here for the full campaign?
Yeah, all back this year, thanks to Purdycom and my other 2 sponsors, Worth Marketing and Open Doors Training. We're back on the grid this season.
Well, we wish you well with the racing. Now, if we just sort of expand slightly on our shot, we can see your partner here is also involved in the actual championship. You're involved in the photography, is that right, Rebecca?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
So how did you get involved?
Well, being with Ollie here all the time anyway, so that why not venture the other side of the fence and going to do full season of this year, covering alongside Dick on Siddle, and then next year hopefully continuing on to do it all again.
Congratulations, Jason Burgess on a fine pole position, 2/10 quicker than Ross Macker, who lines up alongside him. Then Doug Cole and Gary Wetton. Paul Luty, Class B pole from Jack Roberts, Class C. Matthew Turnbull from Andy Spencer. Briefly on board there with Doug Cole. Lights are on. And out they go. It looks like a good start from, a little bit slow maybe from Robin Walker in red, but Doug Cole makes a bang into the side of Gary Wetton. I was going to say Doug Cole made a good start. Gary Wetton was challenging for the lead, but it's Jason Burgess who leads the back ends around. Heart-stopping moment. The car's off the track, which is good. Several other cars off the track as well in avoidance. On board with Paul Luty, reclaiming class lead from Jack Roberts. Roberts very quick off the line. Through the dust from Druids Corner, we see that Jason Burgess has resumed the race. Let's hope that all is okay. I don't think he hit anybody. Well, no, he didn't, because it was a spin. And then off the circuit is Paul Luty. Andrew Rogerson immediately in front of him. 2 cars in front of them, Doug Cole and Gary Wetton. So Cole from 3rd on the grid, Wetton from 4th. They're 1st and 2nd. And some big guns in Class A with work to do. There is 77, Robin Walker. In the red car, Matthew Turnbull, the championship leader, class leader as well, in car 64. Another pole position, 2 class wins for him at Donington Park, and there he is in 64 with Ollie Coles in the faster Class B car looking round the outside line. 75 is Andy Spencer, who qualified 2nd in class. Andy Spencer is 2nd in the Class C standings as well, looking to try and take the battle to 64 car of Matthew Turnbull. In fact, Turnbull immediately in front of him. There's Turnbull in black and Spencer in the blue car. On board now with James Cole, busy chasing Tom Butler in 55. Butler, the blue top, grey and black livery car. Here's the view from James Cole again along Cooper Straight and up into Surtees. The race leaders go through. Doug Cole and Gary Wetton still 1st and 2nd. Tom Butler coming back, as you might recall in the last program, coming back from a couple of outings in the Renault UK Clio Cup. Here's the view from James Cole. Chasing hard at the moment is Cole, and on the outside line here, Will Payne. To his inside in yellow, Ryan Firth. So Will Payne, reigning champion, moves up to Class B for this year. Ryan Firth running very well in this one, scored a 5th place in class in race 2 at Donington Park following a retirement. Here we go on board with Robin Walker, who's making some progress through the field. There's Ross Macker, 73. Ross Macker started on the front row of the grid and working his way through the traffic now. He's passed Will Payne. The next driver that he needs to try and get past is going to be Ryan Firth. So Macker climbing his way slowly through the field. Back with James Cole, looks at the inside line. Oh, Tom Butler, a little tag on the back end. And James came out of that. That was sensible driving from James Cole. Loses momentum. The Class A car, though, Robin Walker, we'd probably expect him to come through. Is Walker in red going to look for the outside line now? No, it doesn't look like it. There in car number 80 is Tyler Ballard, being chased by one of our interviewees, Phil Tomlinson. Tyler 7th in Class C, actually outscored or out-qualified Tony Jones, who's joined 3rd in the Class C standings after Donington Park, so won't be too upset about that, I don't think, as we go on board again with James Cole chasing this pair. Now remember, the 77 car, the red car, with the orange sunstrip, a 190 machine. We've got the 2 190s going through shot. Andrew Rogerson in the 160, leading his class ahead of Paul Luty. And Ross Macker very neatly through on the inside of Jack Roberts. We would expect the 190s to come through. And Ross Macker is really making a charge here, but he's got an awful lot of track time to make up on the race leaders at the moment, Doug Cole and Gary Wetton. Jason Burgess going well too. Burgess goes through on the inside line of Andy Firth. So Burgess not letting that moment of panic get to him. And I just wonder whether it was a little bit of pressure being on pole position for him, a first ever pole, but now he knows he can do it. He's got the car underneath him prepared by Paul Strether, the former champion, and boy can he drive it, as we saw in qualifying. A really good pole position time. Andrew Rogerson though still up ahead of the little cheeky way. He's a cheeky chappy, Paul Luty, going along Cooper Straight and chasing Andrew Rogerson. So Macker now 3rd, 4th overall is the 13 car, but that is the lead Class B machine. of Andrew Rogerson, who was very quick off the line, I've got to say. Paul Luthi giving chase. Here we come, along Clark curve and onto the Brabham straight. In behind as well is Jack Roberts. Roberts, the championship leader coming into this race class-wise. Luthi 2 points down on him. Andrew Rogerson a further 4 down on Paul Luthi. Back with the race for the lead, Gary Wetton chasing Doug Cole. This is at Druids. Doug doesn't seem to be under any huge pressure at the moment and controlling this one well. It was a win and a second place at Donington Park for Doug. Defending class champion, leads the class by 6 points here as we pick up on Tyler Ballard once again and Phil Tomlinson having a good battle going into Paddock Hill Bend. Both immaculately prepared cars. There's some real mint cars in the paddock here in the MG Trophy. They go up to Druids. Meanwhile, the 21 car, David Heisman, joint third in the Class C standings, getting stuck in as well. And back to the battle for the leaders. Paul Luthi challenges for the class lead on the inside of Andrew Rogerson going into paddock. So here's the battle for Class B. Paul Luthi on the inside line is going to take the lead from Andrew Rogerson. Jack Roberts in behind. Paul Luthi side by side with Rogerson coming out of Druids. He needs to get clear of him and grab the line going down into Graham Hill Bend, which he's done. Luthi re-leads the class. Rogerson second. Jack Roberts, though, keep an eye on him. He was looking racy in third place. Gary Wetton going for the overall lead, meanwhile. It's all happening here at Brands Hatch. And Wetton's got the lead from Doug Cole. Fantastic stuff. 2 lead changes on the same lap. Doug Cole, though, is going to try and fight back. Wetton looks like he's a man on a mission. Doug Cole challenging again. Cole, remember, first and second at Donington. But Wetton, who took a 5th and a 4th place, clearly likes the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. He leads a couple of lengths over Doug Cole. Back down the order, down the inside line goes Patrick Booth, past Andy Spencer. Andy, one of the top runners in Class C, 2 second places at Donington. He's running in second place in class again in this one. Andy trying to get on terms with Matthew Turnbull, who's actually out of shot, Matthew Turnbull, down the road. So he's got some Class B cars to deal with. Turnbull, in fact, the black car just went out of shot. So in actual fact, Andy Spencer not that far behind is the race leader. Just going out of shot there, bottom right. 49 car Andy Firth up ahead of Patrick Booth. Those guys dicing for a top 10 position in Class B, so fair amount at stake between those two as Doug Cole challenges into Paddock Hill Bend round the outside line. Might go for the cutback here, but it's being covered very well indeed by Gary Wetton. Cole there, I think, might have wanted the outside or inside line going down Paddock and through Halewoods. He's being made to work hard here. Comes down into, but look at Ross Backer closing in now as well. Ross Backer, who was way down the order early on, has closed up, so we're going to potentially have a 3-way battle for the lead here in the overall and the Class A standings. Doug Cole clatters the curbs, working the track as much as he can. Still out front, Gary Wetton goes wide. Doug Cole won't want a second invitation there. Side by side, Wetton might have more momentum. Meanwhile, Rogerson on the grass bounces through to take the class lead from Paul Luthi. Jack Roberts is there in the mix as well. Will Payne, who's come up. Will Payne having a super race in the Class Bs. Side by side for the lead. Doug Cole holds on to the inside, takes the lead away from Gary Wetton. And now Ross Backer is starting to close in. Look at the wide line from Backer here. No pressure on Ross at all, which means that he can focus on racing line and attacking. The 22 car, Gary Wetton, now finds himself the hunted again. He was the hunter, of course, got into the lead. And then Doug Cole returned the favour. And Gary Wetton coming under pressure. He'll look at his mirrors, and Ross Backer, who's climbed right the way through the field and up into third place and has caught. What a drive from Macca. Paul Luthi still in front in the class, reclaimed it, hasn't he, from Andrew Rogerson, who's down in third. Will Payne is fourth and challenging for a podium, looks up the inside line, and Payne trying to squeeze through side by side with Andrew Rogerson here. Where did Will Payne come from? He's doing well. He qualified fourth in class but wasn't with those guys earlier on. And the other car in the mix now, Jason Burgess, who's come through from last. He was last after that spin at Paddock Hill Bend and has climbed his way up into the front runners. Doug Cole the leader. Ross Backer goes through into second place. The door was open. Doug Cole struggling for gears, coming out of Graham Hill Bend, and well, the hand gesture says it all. He's down from first to third, and Wetton, and ahead of him Ross Backer through into first and second. Doug Cole will fight back. In fact, Doug Cole hasn't lost too much. It looks worse on the onboard camera. On board with Gary Wetton again. So Ross Backer, incredible. He was way down in the opening laps, and that just goes to prove that you never ever give up. If you're away down, chip away. He knew he had the car under him to make a lot of progress. Here's the view from Jason Burgess. Burgess passing Jack Roberts. Roberts second in class. Paul Luthi ahead of him. Luthi's fourth on the road but leading class, so a really good drive too, not only from Ross Backer but from Jason Burgess. Doug Cole gets a whiff of second place once again. They're getting into back marker territory. Car off on the gravel, I think, is Will Payne. So Will Payne was running very strongly indeed. Here's Jason Burgess all over the back of Paul Luthi. Race for overall position. Jack Roberts is there. Andrew Rogerson there as well. Rogerson running third in class from fifth on the grid. It was Tom Butler, remember, who lined up in sixth place on the grid. Though Tom Butler a little bit further back in this one, as Burgess wants to try and go through and take fourth position overall. He will have cleared every single Class C and Class B car, and there is a great view from Paul Luthi's camera of him doing that. Paul knows he's not losing championship points there by allowing Jason Burgess through. The Carrot Man goes through and takes fourth position. Good recovery drive from Jason Burgess. Here's the view from James Cole, who's chasing Richard Marsh, and then the 64 car of Matthew Turnbull. Turnbull, I think, chasing Mike Harris. Turnbull looking for 3 out of 3 wins in Class C. So much going on. Because you've got 3 classes, there are 3 different races going on, and they've all been hard fought. Or maybe not as hard in Class C. Matthew Turnbull's been working hard for sure. He's got a decent lead over Andy Spencer. So we've seen some great racing in this first one here from Brands Hatch. Here's Doug Cole into back marker traffic now. So Ross Backer is the leader, the white car with the orange windscreen sunstrip going through. Doug Cole in blue at the back of that, and that is a problem for Phil Tomlinson. Is on board here from Paul Luthi showing what happened. Tomlinson coming on back onto track. Worrying moment for everybody coming through. Andrew no, it wasn't Andrew Rogerson on the grass, it was Jack Roberts going on the grass. And Gary Wetton again going past Doug Cole like he's standing still again. Cole seems to have a problem. Is it along Coos? There's contact between the two again. They started the race doing that, and it looks like they're going to carry that onto the checkered flag. Wetton back into second place. Doug Cole being squeezed fast on the outside line. Cole will immediately get back on the case and try and look down the inside, but Wetton's got it covered as they come across the line. Ross Backer getting away. Backer with the fastest lap on lap 8. Andrew Rogerson fastest in Class B. Matthew Turnbull unsurprisingly fastest in Class C at the moment. And Doug Cole has got to fight back again to reclaim second place. Cole goes to the outside line at Druids. It looks like Tyler Ballard who is off there. And I'm wondering whether Tyler and Phil Tomlinson, who were together on track earlier on, had an incident, because they both seemingly retiring in similar places. Tomlinson was the spinner going down Graham Hill. There's Ross Backer, race leader, lights ablaze in case he comes across any more back markers. Gary Wetton second, Doug Cole in third. Fine fight between these two for valuable championship points. Remember, it was Graham Ross that... Oh, and off the circuit goes Ollie Hood. Now that is a prone position. We're late into the race. We will certainly get wave jellos there. Well, I'm hearing that we might have it as a red flag being readied by the marshal. If we do get a red flag, it will be a checkered flag as well to complete the race. There is the red flag, so it'll be red and checker. It means that Ross Backer will take the win. Gary Wetton in second place from Doug Cole and Jason Burgess. Paul Luthi is going to take Class B. Sensible decision by the organisers. We had in excess of 15 minutes of racing. So here's the result. Macca, Wetton, Cole and Burgess. Paul Luty wins Class B from Andrew Rogerson. Ryan Firth was next from Tom Butler and Jack Roberts. Then Richard Marsh completing the top 10. James Cole next from Will Payne. Ollie Coles, Andy Firth, Patrick Booth, Mike Harris. Matthew Turnbull wins Class C, ahead of Andy Spencer. John Booth on the C podium. David Heisman next in 20th from Paul Croker. Joe Cruttenden and Tony Jones completing the finishers. Down in Parc Ferme to chat to our race winners is Barry Welch.